This traffic stop looks normal. The driver's calm, smiling. He confidently tells the officer he's just delivering for Uber Eats. What he doesn't know is that the man at his window didn't just watch him steal one package. He knows the trunk of that car is stuffed with 847 stolen letters. But this story doesn't start here. It starts 20 minutes earlier, with a man who thought he'd found the perfect crime. To understand why Isaiah was this confident lying to a police sergeant, we have to rewind 20 minutes earlier. Earlier that evening, Isaiah Gresham believed he'd cracked the perfect crime for 2024. He wasn't breaking in. He wasn't running. He wasn't hiding. He was blending in. Isaiah had realized something simple. Nobody questions a delivery driver anymore. Think about it. How many times have you seen someone in a vest carrying boxes? Did you look twice? Did you wonder if they belonged there? Probably not, and Isaiah knew it. So he turned his white Ford Focus into camouflage. An Uber Eats sticker on the windshield. Slow driving. Casual waves to neighbors pulling into their driveways. He even wore a plain shirt. Nothing too official, nothing too suspicious. Just average enough to disappear. He didn't rush. He didn't look nervous. He walked up to porches like he belonged there. And it worked. House after house, Isaiah lifted packages in plain sight. Amazon boxes, FedEx envelopes, mail stacked neatly by front doors. No alarms, no shouting. No one even looked twice. Because in 2024, delivery drivers are everywhere. They're invisible by design. Each successful stop made him bolder, calmer, more convinced that the disguise made him invisible. He'd been doing this for weeks, months, building a routine, perfecting the timing. To Isaiah, this wasn't stealing anymore. It was a system, and systems, he believed, don't fail. But what Isaiah didn't know was that someone had already started watching. Isaiah's mistake wasn't greed, it was comfort. In Brookhaven, Georgia, he pulled up to another quiet street. Familiar, calm, uneventful. It was early evening, the kind of time when people are just getting home from work, when porch lights flicker on, when no one's really paying attention. This time, he didn't even bother closing his car door. He jogged up the driveway, lifted a box from the porch, and moved like he'd done it 100 times before. Because he had. Across the street, another car slowed down. Sergeant Charles McCoy was off duty, driving home. No uniform and no sirens, just habit. And habit told him something was wrong. An open car door, an empty street, a man running from a porch with a package. Most people would have driven past, assumed it was legitimate, gone home and thought nothing of it. But McCoy wasn't most people. He'd spent years reading body language, years watching people move. And something about this didn't sit right. McCoy didn't act. He watched. Isaiah jumped back into the driver's seat and pulled away, unaware that the law had just fallen in behind him. McCoy followed at a distance. No lights, no rush. One house later, Isaiah stopped again. He stepped out, walked up, took another package. McCoy saw everything. The casual stride, the quick grab, the confident return to the car. Still, he didn't intervene. He wanted certainty. He wanted proof. Because pulling someone over on a hunch is one thing. Pulling them over with evidence is another. Isaiah drove on, calm as ever. Waving at a neighbor, trusting the sticker on his windshield more than common sense. But now the roles had reversed. The hunter was being hunted, and Isaiah had no idea that his next stop would be his last. A few blocks later, the quiet ended. Red and blue lights exploded in Isaiah's rearview mirror. For a split second, Isaiah's heart probably stopped. But then the training kicked in. The rehearsed story, the practiced calm. He pulled over immediately, calm, confident. This was just another lie, and he'd already practiced it. Sergeant McCoy stepped out of his vehicle and approached the driver's side window. Isaiah smiled and gestured toward the windshield. "I'm Uber Eats." His voice was steady, his hands visible on the wheel. Everything about his demeanor said innocent. McCoy didn't argue. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't even question the story. He simply said, "Open the back door." The smile hesitated, just for a moment. Just long enough for McCoy to notice. Isaiah stepped out and pulled the handle. McCoy looked inside. Cardboard boxes stacked across the back seat. Shipping labels. Different names, different addresses. Isaiah tried again. "Those are gifts from my family." McCoy picked up a box and read the label. "This one's for a Smith." He reached for another. "This one's for a Johnson." He looked back at Isaiah. "Are they all your family?" Isaiah opened his mouth, then closed it. Isaiah said nothing. The silence answered for him. McCoy reached for his radio. Backup was already on the way. And in that moment, Isaiah realized the disguise that made him invisible had just made him unforgettable. Police arrived within minutes, multiple units, lights everywhere. The quiet neighborhood suddenly wasn't so quiet anymore. Isaiah stood on the sidewalk, hands at his sides, watching officers open the trunk. It didn't just open, it spilled. Boxes slid forward, envelopes followed, packages stacked on packages, some unopened, some crushed, all stolen. One officer stepped back, stunned. Another started taking photos. This wasn't a bad decision, it was a collection. The kind of collection that takes time to build. The kind that requires commitment. The kind that proves this wasn't a one-time mistake. Investigators counted everything. 847 stolen packages, more than 1,800 pieces of mail. Isaiah hadn't just been stealing. Letters meant for families. Birthday gifts that never arrived. Medicine someone needed. Documents someone was waiting for. Isaiah hadn't just been stealing, he'd been hoarding. His car wasn't transportation, it was a warehouse on wheels. His mugshot was taken that night at the Brookhaven Police Department. The confidence was gone, the smile replaced with the weight of reality, the weight of the math finally catching up. 847 counts, each one a separate charge, each one a separate victim. Isaiah Gresham was charged with felony theft and loitering, but the damage went beyond the charges. Families who never got their packages, businesses that had to refund orders, trust that was broken in an entire neighborhood. The Uber Eats sticker was peeled from the windshield. The disguise that made him invisible to neighbors, made him obvious to the law. He dressed up as a delivery driver to steal from his community. He thought the costume made him untouchable. He thought the system was foolproof. But in the end, the only thing Isaiah successfully delivered was himself to the county jail. What's the dumbest criminal excuse you've ever heard? Let us know in the comments. And if you found this story as wild as we did, hit that subscribe button, because we've got plenty more where this came from.